Go, 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 live stream. Woohoo. I never really watched Power Rangers. But we're live, so hi everyone.
Well, we can talk Power Rangers for a second. Yeah, I watched a couple of them. Power Rangers in Space or Lost in Space was good.
If you say
Mm,
so.
no, it was. Well, because there was the first one that went out into space, and they got more cliche-y. One was like trucks and silly other things, whereas just going to space the first time was quite a cool concept at the time. Uh, that's some good stuff.
So hello, Buckeye and Chef and Fat Produce. Poop.
Hi everyone,
Poop, that is all. That's what Fat Produce says, so.
and you said it out loud because.
Poop. It's a good word, poop. Poop.
The class that we have on the show is
Yes. It's, yeah. It's beyond
it's
reproach.
it's beyond describing. Now, where's my? Okay, there's default view. Okay, so I better share this thing to all the wonderful people out there.
Yes, you do that.
Oh, I'm still rendering something. Oops, I'm still rendering a fleet of NX0 ships.
Yeah, you were kind of
Doing
choppy there, so.
Sorry, yeah, I'm doing a light pass or a glow pass for a fleet of 10 ships from the Coalition for Romulan War. I recreated a shot from Enterprise, but made it 3 times as long and added 3 more ships to make it seem more impressive. More.
And yes, Chef, this is the Enterprise from the motion picture. This is refit. Speaking of live, have either of you tried the VR Star Trek like Sarna and others? The only VR I've tried is the Bridge Crew, which is amazing. Big Star Trek fan and fan of this channel. Fantastic. Well, Carl, is this your first live that you're tuning into?
Hiya, Carl.
Yeah. I am just waiting for some files. He's sharing it around, so I'll just chat with you guys in the chat. And guys, 31 of you here, at least that's showing me. Daniel, hello Daniel. Did you guys watch the review Star Trek The Motion Picture Retrospective from Red Letter Media on YouTube? It's the same people. Yes, we did. I did. I love the one guy's description of Gene Roddenberry. He looks like a bag of oatmeal with eyebrows. I thought that actually made me spit out my drink. Sad but true.
Yeah, I always like that. They all have their distinct opinions, but Mike can sometimes just say no, no, no. When they were doing the Discovery reviews, Rich was more dismissive, saying, "I don't care about the look. Who cares? It's the future. It's the past." And the other guy, who's trying not to like step on his toes, like, yeah, but at the same time, this, and this, and this. So I was thinking, well, they could just be, fans, but not fans, but they actually did. At least he managed to back up the fandom, which is nice because it's kind of important.
It's very important, not just kinda. But
It's
yes,
true.
I love all of their videos and all the Star Trek references therein. They've done like a few flashbacks of all the Star Trek references, and it's just hilarious. So, Great Bird of the Galaxy, a bag of oatmeal with eyebrows. LOL. Yes, file Mike. Hit the like button. That's right, guys. Hit the like button on this video, and I don't know if we have a moderator.
Like, subscribe, share, put it in the clouds, skywriting, sing about it, play an opera.
Well, it depends whether your singing voice is good. If it's like
Well, as long as we don't have to hear it.
oh, that's true. That is true. That's a good point. But they might have other people around them, so
That would be a crime if we got bad singers to sing in front of people.
like Lore Reloaded.
Your words, not mine.
I don't know if you've heard his singing on Anti-Tracker, but
I was made to, wasn't I, Stuart?
oh yes,
By someone in this room. Yeah,
I
some kind soul.
someone in that room. Yeah, okay, I'll buy that.
It was a thing.
It was a thing. So yeah, guys, welcome. Sorry we're taking long to get started. He's sharing the video, and I'm waiting for a download so that I can have some pictures. Just heard hit the like button and the voice of Jacksepticeye. I love Jacksepticeye. Yes.
No idea.
Shared a little Facebook Discovery group. You guys should do a game stream of Star Trek TNG of Final Unity. I love that game. I played the heck out of that game when I was younger.
Yes.
Please, let's not go all Placido Dominico today. Don't know what that means, but... Hey! It's another YouTuber. The commander was forced to see that like Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange. Yes, we pried his eyelids open and strapped him to a chair.
It was great. My soul died a bit.
Anthony says, I will super chat if you get an animation of Captain Foley phasering Anti-Trekker and him exploding. But how much will you super chat? That's the question.
It's always the question.
Adam Boots puts in £2. Super chats also help the channel. Animation number 12, please. Yes, Adam, thank you very much. And he is right. They do help the channel. So does going to our Patreon. Joining that helps us on a monthly basis. That's very important. And here's number 12 for you. Ah, yes. Two beautiful ships in all their glory. Awesome. I love that animation. And Jill puts in $2 as well, and she says number 1. So this is another one of my favorite of these animations.
Which I all re-rendered in 1080p based on old episodes.
Yes. What he said.
That was fun. Took a while, but that was fun. It's nice to go back and relight and replace some of the models. I mean, some of those fun... it's weird then to go back to old settings. There's the Galaxy class with the other ships flying. Do you have the Galaxy? Yeah, play the Galaxy NX if you would.
The Galaxy what? And the NX?
Yeah, and then pause it sort of mid so you see both ships. So
Yes,
I can actually then
yes,
see
dear.
it when it...
I'll just pretend that's Anthony's because he put in $4.99.
Woo!
But he didn't leave a comment.
Anthony.
So there. Paused. Halfway. And it's delayed for Samuel.
Yeah, so this was fun because this is originally I used the ILM model, but I swapped to Gabe Kerner's model, which is a higher end version of the Enterprise D, and I relit it dramatically, added a different glow pass, and I relit the NX to be separately to get them both looking good. So and I used different lighting setups, and I redid the light rig slightly. So there's a whole load of things I did that if you compare it to the original one, which I think I maybe would have sent you originally, but it's a lot nicer. It's just fun because a lot of these things, the framing, is the pacing, before that stuff's worked out, then that's why I couldn't make any new Super Chat ones, but I could go in and pick some old ones because it, half the work was done with the render power PC like I've got. It was efficient, but suddenly it looks a lot better.
Looks great.
Fun to see the scale. Can you do it full screen when you do an animation? No, I think we can.
I can, but I have to rejigger the OBS. And
besides, they're not designed for people to like screen cap them. That's one of the little things we have of not doing full screens. You can't just nick them because people do nick our images without credit. So keeping this small means you can enjoy them but not nick them.
Nick them. Yes.
Which I think is fair.
Yes. I still don't. Has that sent yet?
Yes, it's 374 megas. Be with you in about 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Trekyards, what are we talking about today? We are talking about the 7th episode.
Yes. And it's got quite a title. It's quite a mouthful. Magic to make the sanest man go mad.
Was there a sane man that went mad? I guess Stamets maybe, but he was fine. And he found his sanity throughout it again and again.
Dealer's choice. Great job on the channel, guys. Well, I'll pick another one then.
Thank you. And this episode was the first one I actually managed to watch on Blu-ray. Because I finally found the Blu-ray remote to the Blu-ray player to then play the Blu-ray, which I got 2 weeks ago. So that was nice, and I did think it was a higher bit rate. so it looked shinier. I did see a few things that looked crisper. So obviously on Netflix and such, are limited to the screening, the streaming quality. You get what you get. Whereas Blu-ray, it is much much higher. So I'm excited to deconstruct. I ended up watching a couple of minutes of the Design and Discovery featurette.
How was that?
I mean, you know, they're only going to say things that were approved by CBS, so it's what you expect it to be.
Hello, Captain and Commander and Captain De Silva.
Hello.
From Captain De Silva.
Yay! Hi, Greg.
Ooh, I like that one.
You need to read my script, man. I'm very excited for you to read that and see De Silva do epic things, because give you some nice lines and some heroic things, and yeah.
Carl West throws in £5, but no comment, no animation request. So thank you very much, Carl. Much appreciated.
Why don't you play the Galaxy X? I barely see that one.
Oh yeah, I was just going to play that before, actually.
Anxiously waiting. Well, Greg, we should talk about it sometime. I should told you a Skype just you and me. I'll send it to you. You can read it and I'll hear your feedback. Because, yeah. And I got a surprise, which I should probably show Ray at some point. Yeah, I'm going to email Ray right now.
While we're waiting for my
surprise.
download.
I'll be with you any second.
Sure it will. I'll believe you. I'll believe you. Thousands wouldn't, but I will.
Ray. We should go.
Anxiously awaiting. Well, watching Groundhog Day episodes is like Groundhog Day in itself. Yes, well, this is like Groundhog Day very much. It's also like, I can't think of the name of the episode from TNG, the time loop one.
Cause and effect.
There you go, cause and effect. Yes, it's another great episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of time loops. I really am. I think they, if done very well, are very very clever. But you really got to think them through.
Yeah,
I think they did think this one through. I think it absolutely deserves the thinking through.
There's a few problems I see with it, but we'll get into those as we start the review. Fat Produce puts in $5. So thank you very much. I bet the NX-01 would fly apart if it got caught in the Enterprise D's impulse wake. I don't know about that. Possibly.
I mean, hull plating is still strong.
And Shaq's Jump Drive puts in £2 and says, curious about number 11. Ooh, yeah, 11. Here we go. This is part of a longer animation, but still.
Oh, which one is it? 11,
it's the Orville and the TOS Enterprise.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I need to make some more of those, especially with the enhanced. I mean, it's one of those things. Ironically, if you can always do a live stream super chat where people donate to build new animations for the future super chats, because they take time to make. But it'd be fun to offer more ones. But I mean, you can't just make them for the sake of it. That's why I should do some remastered ones.
Captain Foley, can you get a booth at Motor City Comic Con this year? Not that far in. I'd love to say hi. Well, that would be Detroit. I don't know, possibly. Oh, speaking of, Reality Strikes over on the Anti-Trekker channel. He spoke to somebody higher up in San Diego Comic-Con, and they said if we attend San Diego Comic-Con, they can get us on a panel. They can get a Trekyards panel, but it's kind of expensive to get down there and stuff. But we got that in, so I have an email address. I'm supposed to email this guy and see.
Wow.
So this is news to the commander. I just found this out today. So
a panel is cool. I mean, saying you have a panel at San Diego Comic Con is a bucket list thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably. Is it more expensive than Vegas? Do you think to go to?
Probably about the same. That being said, we know one of our admins, Jason. He is in San Diego. He'd be able to put us up, so we might not have to pay for a hotel. I mean, it's a possibility.
He'd get to grill us on Star Trek Facts as our rent.
Yes. Fat Produce puts in another $2. Thank you very much. The Franklin and the NX animation again. All right, that's one of my favorites. That's a beautiful animation, actually. Got to give Samuel props for this one.
Which one, sorry?
The Franklin and the NX.
And that obviously helps it being the real NX model that Pierre Droulet did, and a very, very good Franklin model done by a fan that I commented accidentally up up res for this, so it looks really good.
It looks really good. It's an amazing animation. So thank you very much, guys. Let's see if that email is here now.
Oh, should be with you.
Should be with me. All right, there it is.
But
I'm
while
going to download it. Then we can look at pictures and talk about the episode.
Ooh, I sense this Indigo campaign for San Diego Comic-Con. Let's get it going. I mean, we've got several planned for next year, and we've got some bloody amazing perks.
And we should start planning those and purchasing things because, but we're not going to tell you that right now, but just look forward to some for next year.
But definitely need to start booking Vegas stuff because those dates are like set in stone in terms of like we can't move Vegas.
You just gave it away.
Well, we've talked about that before. We've mentioned
it
several times.
Yeah, we're thinking of going to Vegas next year to the Las Vegas Star Trek convention, and that would be awesome.
And I worked a lot to get some really stupidly good prints at the recent destination. That was a big, basically half my objective was that, and some really amazing, like limited, 3 of a kind prints. I think you guys are absolutely gonna, it's a great way of supporting the channel and getting the most exclusive custom prints possible that you could not get signed ever yourself, and we're only gonna do a few. So yeah,
we like to bring cool stuff for sure.
Yeah.
So it's downloading. So just give us a minute, guys. Keep vamping, talking.
Well, let's do.
Chilling. I gotta say. One of the reasons that this episode that we're going to talk about is one of my favorites, not just of Discovery, but like it's up there with some of the better ones in Trek, in my opinion, because it's very entertaining. But it's also got a super hot Tilly in it, so I'm just putting that out there.
Temperature? You mean temperature? The aircon was low. You mean for that?
Sure, I'll go with that.
Sure.
Voyager matters.
So let's go with overall thoughts again. So we watched it a year ago. Now we know the biggest canon secrets of the season. How did you feel after watching this again for the second time?
Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I felt excited to watch it, to actually hit play, and I wasn't really disappointed. I did notice a few flaws in the storytelling a little bit, especially with the way things happen near the end, but maybe we can talk about that and figure out a solution that I might not be seeing.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I was certainly excited for this one.
Yeah, your signal's a little bit choppy. I don't know if it's because I'm downloading, but it shouldn't be.
Oh, it would be, yeah. That would be.
There's another super chat there. From Gareth. Oh. Amazing perks, also known as Dancing Foley. I'll dance for money. That sounds bad. No, not G-string, hammock thing.
No one said that, Stuart.
I know. That's what I'm clarifying. I will not dance that way.
Where are you getting this from?
Hey, I know how these people think. Remember Moobs? If /.-121 shows up?
I try not to remember.
All right, gotcha. All right, there we go. And why did it move that? There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
hi.
we do things. We do things.
We make Trekyards go. We are smart.
Today, yes. Kind of surprised we only have 69 people watching as well. Seems like underwhelming for today.
Well, it's not too bad. It's about average what we have for these. Gareth throws in £2 again. G-string ? More like bloody cheese wire. Hey. Don't know if that's an insult or. Do you guys know if this episode made the Guinness Book of World Records for Lorca dying so many times in one episode? Well, he killed him 53 times. Yeah, I think 53 was the end, because he did say specifically, I killed you 53 times. But anyway, I doubt that it made the Guinness Book of World Records. Just saying. All right, so now we got the pictures. Here we go. Oh, there's Burnham. All right. What a way to start.
But yes, me seeing this again after a year, excited to watch it. I think it lived up to what I thought it was last time, which is a good thing if a show can live up to already high memories of it. My only come away from it was that it didn't really add anything to the grander story, where I was waiting for things like give Lorca a really mirror line that I could be like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was super condensed, which is sort of the point, and that works in its one favor. But as a rewatch, when you know everything, it's more surface level fun. Whereas the other couple I've enjoyed a few more bits. Obviously the plots are worse, but I've enjoyed the deeper bits the second time round. So this was as good as I remember it being. The score might be different now, given the year of going through, but this is probably the best episode of the season. And I'm like, we're only at 7, but this is the best one, hands down, without even remotely a shadow of a doubt, and probably the best of the season. And this is the first actual Trek episode, so good job them. Only took them 7, and it'll only take them another 7 plus a break to make more Trek, we hope.
Speaking of the next short,
yeah.
The Brightest Star comes out on December 6th. So if you guys didn't know, that's what the Saru one. We got another super chat though. Fat Produce puts in another $5.
Very kind. Thank you.
I half expect Discovery season 2 to start with the Klingons throwing tribbles into a meat grinder, with it not being family friendly Trek. You never know. I mean, they don't like those tribbles.
And hi, Trek Game, because he wants to say hi, or she say hi, or they say hi if they're a
hi, Trek Gamer.
Hello.
Anyway, so let's get on with this. I got to admit, and we've said this. I said this first time. Starting off with her personal log was nice, because none of these episodes have started off with Captain's log, Stardate, and the nice flyby of the ship. There's no exposition. It's just kind of straight into the whatever. So I like the voiceover. I like the personal log. I thought that was a nice. I was going to say nice touch or nice addition, but it's something that should be standard for Star Trek, in my opinion. So it was nice if they finally got there. And she goes on to say that basically Discovery has been doing good. It's the most impressive or the most important weapon in Starfleet's arsenal, and that Stamets has been nailing the jumps. So it's a nice exposition to what they were doing.
But it's a positive start with a positive message. I mean, one of those weird things about this is that it was meant to be this dark show where you really felt the war, but because it's so in these clean clinical walls, the war's going well. Okay, there's no grander sense of the war because we basically abandoned the Klingon story arc completely for another couple of episodes. So I just realized this as I was going, but there is no the war could be anything at any point. I mean, this war could be the same as our Cardassian war in early TNG, the one we didn't know about because retconned back in, but it made no difference either way. That's still a level of war. You wouldn't think it was necessarily it could have almost started with a desperate thing of Lorca talking to Cornwall saying we've lost 10 more ships, you need to quicken up, you know. So something to tie it to the grander plot I think was probably missing, but it was already because these episodes could be any length you want. Make it 55 minutes rather than 48. Have 3 scenes about the grander war. Start and end there. Even with a Lorel scene at the end would have probably brought it more into the grander scope, I think. Although very early on we do get Lorca playing with the multi-dimensional coordinates again. He's building his map to his own universe.
Yeah,
he's evil.
Yeah, and all those points would be spore jumps that they've done. So he's doing his thing. It's cool to see Stamets being more, friendly. That was all in the exposition as well. How it's changed him.
I remember watching the first time thinking, "Oh, he's going to be more interesting now." But we know this is a very temporary change. He does go back to his old self, roughly. So it's kind of weird that it pushes him this far in one direction, then it completely. That might be a directing choice. They might say to him, "Right, go all out," and they sort of decide, "Oh, simmer it down." Is the kind of feel I get.
Yeah.
Then they're not quite sure where they're going with him because they rewrote the show. Because he's not this way. Because I really liked him in this episode, but this is his exception to the rule episode. He's not really this way again. But he's a human in this episode. Real red-blooded human.
Yeah.
Would be a good boss to work for.
And in finishing off the exposition, she's talking about how she's made friends, well, at least one, and that would, of course, be Tilly, and how she finds other crew members some crew members more interesting than others, and she's there chatting with Tyler. And then all of a sudden it cuts to a frat party for some reason.
Although this time round, because again, this time around you can't be pissy about the continuity or the ship designs or the aesthetics. It's all broken, we know it. We're not going to... All that stuff's long gone. Mm-hmm. So my impression this time around was it was a 21st century themed party. Like it was theme night.
Maybe, yeah.
That's the only way I could think this would make sense, because the music, the games, the style, the hoodie.
I never considered that, but yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
The one thing I did notice, one of the first things that Burnham says is the lights were flickering, and she goes, "We have power redundant relays to prevent the lights from flickering. Like, this shouldn't be happening." I thought that was interesting because in absolutely every iteration of Star Trek, whenever anything happens, the lights flicker. Whether it's a panel in the background or the main lighting, or so exactly.
It's not as powerful, but yeah.
Yeah, the power redundant relays just never seem to work in Star Trek, apparently. So.
And Greg asks, as the pie sequence, what's your opinions on having characters into contemporary music to us to demonstrate its longevity? No, I think they should invent new songs. Don't use anything contemporary, because it also dates you horribly. If you use 60 pop songs in TOS, you date it to the 60s. You can't get away from that. No, I think you should
brother.
A new song.
They came up with new songs in TOS.
Invent something. Yeah. Even if it was a really heavily, what do you call it, remix, like the same bass tune, but with hyper different instruments. No, I don't think it should be anything like that. Because I mean, why would they pick that iteration of that song? Is that the classic? Well, they're already past 200 years of classic. You know, be creative. You know.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
They're going for a very look. It's just like now vibe, which it shouldn't be.
Yeah. And I gotta point out how outgoing Tilly is in this party. She must have had a few drinks in her, because she loosens up quite a bit. She's not as shy and reserved as usual.
She's not episode 3 Tilly. Like, they completely abandoned. She's now just woman who's nice that everyone likes.
And is super hot with curly red hair.
Yeah. I was confused. She said I usually go for soldiers, but the Federation doesn't have soldiers. Like, that's a weird phrasing. If she's meant to, and we said, in her, in one of her early episodes and in the Star Trek Online thing, say she wants to be an explorer. So a person who's a true Federation wouldn't call any officer a soldier. Even tactically, would say, "Oh, I really have tactical officers." You wouldn't say soldier. That was a really weird slip of the writer writing it, not the in-universe writing it.
That's very interesting. Again, that's something I wouldn't have picked up on, but you're absolutely right.
Just wouldn't say soldiers. It shouldn't be in the vernacular, especially for Tilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's a nice interaction here. You get to see their friendship kind of develop a little bit, Tilly and Burnham, and then of course Tyler comes over, and Tilly's like, "I'm out," and she leaves them to their thing, because she knows that they got a thing, whether they admit it or not. But then the convenient call to the bridge for Burnham, who's now a science specialist, and Tyler, who's head of security. I can kind of buy both of them being called to the bridge for an unidentified alien presence outside the ship. So I don't have a problem with that, but just thought I'd point that out.
Although if it's clear they're off their shift, or they shouldn't both be at a party, you'd surely call the on-duty people. Because if you had to call the off-duty people every sort of time, then any time anything happens ever, if they're in bed, if they're doing whatever, that's why you have more than one shift. Because you don't call the top people, and they don't know what it is yet. If it was a Klingon ship, fine. I mean, that's a really small thing, but since you brought it up. But it's just we need to get them to the bridge. I need to be off duty. And some in uniform, and some in jeans, and not jeans, but some in tops and things. Yeah. But it's interesting how quickly Tyler's acclimated to the crew.
Yeah.
Like, everyone likes him, everyone digs him, he's friends with everyone. At least the vibe, not literally, but...
Yeah.
I think they were telling him to be overly fun, to counterbalance that you don't think he's a Klingon. Like, just be really nice guy. Yeah, let's go for that. You know,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Get a nice interaction with them walking through the hallway, and then, of course, bumping into Stamets. She apologized. He's like, "Why would you apologize? This is the moment to, embrace and, I actually like Stamets. I've liked Stamets since the beginning, whether he's being an asshole or not. I think he's a good character, good actor. So I really enjoy his role.
It is where they took him this far, though.
It is.
It's not consistent.
But it's funny to see. It's almost like he's drunk or
yeah.
high or something. And I love how Hugh is apologizing for him. He's been different lately. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty... I mean, there's a lot of great scenes in this episode. Some of the best scenes of the entire season.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got him calling out Burnham and Tyler. That's awesome. I like how he calls out Vok. Says, "You're remarkably grounded." And the
For
audience
having
is
been in
like,
prison for 7 months, yeah.
and the audience first time around is like, "Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?" Audience second time around is like, "Yeah, duh, we said that first time round."
Yeah.
So that was a nice little. They could have taken it one bit further, because I would have thought if he sees the mycelium connections, he could have been like, "Is your skin okay?" Or something else would have been nice there. But he's still getting to use he's getting accustomed to his powers, or sort of powers.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's all fun.
And they show the implants to make his interaction with the spore drive much more comfortable. So Hugh has rigged those up for him, which are interesting to say the least. Later episodes, they talk about the genetic manipulation, adding the DNA goes against the augmenting humans rule, and that nobody really knows about it. It's kind of secret. He doesn't want to get Hugh in trouble for working on it. So it's kind of odd that he's flashing it around, and who knows? Who knows about this?
But he is flashing it to head of security, head of science, sort of.
Well, she's not an officer though. She's just science specialist. I know, but
he's also worked with her more than anyone else in the crew at this point.
Yeah,
and to the new people.
It's a writing flaw, because later it's like, oh, I don't want Hugh to get in trouble for doing this kind of stuff, so we got to kind of keep it hush hush.
But obviously, it's not hush hush to her. She's seen him do it every day for the last. I think these two are the exceptional. These three with Thingy. Yeah. And then they meet the Gormagander, which I will say I referenced in Convergence.
Nice.
A Gormagander, because that's my Discovery reference in there, and it's a nice little. It was a really nice payoff to this episode, actually.
Yeah.
Not like the story content, but the idea of the Gormagander, which I'm quite proud of. And to get the actor to say Gormagander was a funny little trick, because it's not a word that anyone.
Yeah. So we find out they're an endangered species. They're basically a space whale of some sort, and they feed on these particles above all else. That's what they focus on. So they've almost.
That's why it's so fat.
They're almost extinct because they don't take the time out to breed. And I love how Lorca's like, "That's the most depressing thing I've ever heard." I forget what his exact words were. I didn't write them down, but his reaction was hilarious. And then they beam this thing into the shuttle bay.
Cargo transporters, I guess.
Going from 0G in space into an environment with gravity, and you see that its wings or whatever like flop down.
That's a nice touch.
It's yeah. So they need to take it to a because it is endangered. It's their duty to take it to like a sanctuary for these things or whatever. And Lorca's like, "Make it happen." So it's worth pointing that out. And then the craziest shit happens.
I did wonder, so they got cargo beaming, because this was effortless. It's obviously site to site. We're making beams very simple, because they aren't beaming necessarily in the cargo bay. I don't know. And again, we wonder why didn't they just scan the creature properly? Because they specifically say, right, we're going to get closer and scan with a little tricorder, which is inferior in every way to the ship scanners, which are in the ship, which are equally efficient at short range outside the ship and inside the ship.
And you'd think specifically in the shuttle bay where they get cargo and they need to scan cargo in bulk, which they didn't do for Runaway either. But whatever. Joseph.
It's fine.
Joseph puts in €2. Lorca was great.
Thank
I
you.
do not care. Sorry for being late. Don't worry, Joseph. And I agree. I've loved Lorca ever since day one of Discovery. He's one of my favorite characters and a great captain. Whether you think so or not.
Awful man. Good mirror captain. Good mirror emperor. But no, it's just weird. Now I get they said there's dampening field, but they do scan it in two different ways with two different tricorders in two different points, which get not only there's a problem, there's a beaming, and also there's a ship in there. So why did the ship's scanners never detect it? There's no reason that it shouldn't.
No idea.
Just use the scanners. Like, they do understand that a ship is better than a little device which is tiddly. It's like whatever you say, a landline is still going to be stronger than a mobile phone because it's connecting you directly, or a wired is stronger than wireless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's certain things just this is more powerful than the other. But that would have been an easy thing. That would have been the plot's over.
Mm-hmm.
A dampening field, but then it would have the dampening field. Just it was really weird. They took a second to look. We're going to scan this little. I can see it on the medical. But no, what? Yeah, like I thought. It's fine.
And then we see an Andorian spacesuit emerge, which we can only assume it's Andorian, based on its looks. Looks very bug-like. And, start shooting people, which they all have guns. Well, the guy that's getting shot has a gun. And the guy on the other side gets shot. And, yeah, great. Good job. The incompetence of Starfleet in this episode is kind of interesting to me. But I can see this happening in other series as well, other Star Trek series, so...
Oh, yeah.
They got caught off guard a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird how the reaction time of everyone in every scene is basically zero. Like, it works to a certain extent when he's also overthought it, but when he's just walking through a corridor, everyone's got reaction time. Like, later when he walks onto the bridge and no one does anything.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, no, you do something, you react. Like, imagine in TNG, Worf would be on it. Like, oh, and why the hell didn't Saru ever have his ganglia at any point?
Maybe he did, and he just, brushed it off and never saw it.
Surely Saru is a character that you could use in a situation where you could detect threats from a corridor. Why don't they use Saru in this episode?
Or even... even after, when Mudd walks on the bridge, it would make sense for them to still pop down, because,
Well, that's again, obviously they stopped using Saru at a certain point. They just sort of gave up on using him unless they really needed him. And this is another symptoms of it would have been a very good Saru story. They could have been clever, but it would have been too complicated. But, they probably could have done it very clever. But no, they forgot about that as well. But I did like, though, at least that Burnham, this is a genuine xenobiology thing, the Gormaganda. So at least she's being smart in her own way, which the first time around you didn't notice per se, because I forgot she was from the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Now I kept thinking that's actually a speciality. We do get that. So he shoots everyone, and then he walks into the corridor, shoots everyone, and
then talks to one of the scanners or cameras. I don't know.
he just talks to a wall. There isn't anything there.
But he's looking up, so he's specifically looking at something. So
there aren't security cameras, conventional security cameras. You wouldn't be able to see him.
I know. I thought the same thing, but whatever. Jill Wright puts in $2. Full commander in white uniform equals xeno or exobiology department ? Full commander in white uniform.
Hello?
Possibly.
No, there's a medical.
Medical, because he wears white.
Yeah. Doctor uniform. Doctor.
So here we get the whole "I'm back. You left me in the Klingon prison ship. You're gonna pay." From Mudd.
I said you should have killed him. As if I knew he was going to come back.
Right?
No, watch it this time around. I did think Mudd was hamming up a bit. Like, he's more panto in this. He's like, I'll go kill you, Lorca. And it's like, it's a bit. Cause I just watched some episodes about the old Doctor Who, about they ham it up there. They're just being, weird for reason's sake. I do think he pushes it a bit in some points where he just goes a little bit like, I'm just being over the top because It's like,
yeah.
You're losing us a little bit with realism.
Well, Adam Boots just says maybe Saru's ganglia can pick up temporal ripples, and he knew everything was going to be fine.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Well, did they call him Beanstalk at one point? Was that one of the insults?
Yes.
That's a good insult. And then, most satisfying part of the episode, we see everyone die and blow up. She discovered dying. It was like, oh, that's...
And we make a point of this the first time we saw it, saying the explosion occurred on deck 7. Now deck 6. Deck 5 is compromised. Or yeah, but it starts... And you look at where the explosion initiates, it's in the secondary hull, which... Do they number them from the bottom up?
Nope, they don't.
I know they don't.
Because they have deck 1, and it goes up.
So that's a effects error that it happened.
Well,
and a writing error. Yeah.
They just forgot that the shuttle bay is on deck 6. It's not on deck 6. I think it's on deck like 11. There's also 3 decks tall, or 2 decks tall. Yeah, they don't care. But it was nice to see it blow up. It really was. Legitimately, I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
Kablooey.
Yeah. So, reset again, and it goes all normal. But I did notice the lack of stamps this time. The time plays like 20 seconds differently. And I will say, excellent editing, absolutely. And they use different angles, but the same angles. And they take all of in this first redo, they take out all the breaths between pieces. They don't let anything sit. Mm-hmm. Everything's just boop, 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 and then cut bits out. But it's very, very well edited. This episode gets a very good production value thing. And this is a classic Wrath of Khan situation. You bottle show it with a great premise, give the actors time to shine, and you can get a lot of great production value out of a very small amount of stuff. Like, this is the cheapest episode probably in the entire season. It probably is, but it's the best. Because it's probably the best written as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we see Stamets freaking out, coming up to Burnham, saying, "This has happened a few times. Listen, you plastic people." Like, his condescending attitude there, like he's superior to everybody. I just thought that was an interesting term, plastic people. So they head off to the bridge for the second round, and he says it starts with a Gormagander, and then of course the Gormagander shows up. Ash and Burnham look at each other, and this is one of my favorite Lorca moments, where he's like, Tyler's like, "I think I should go with her. You know, security should be there," because that didn't happen the first time. And Lorca's like, "I don't give a damn. Get it done." I thought that was great. I commented on that the first time too. I just love this guy. He's a great guy. I love Lorca. He is.
He isn't by definition. He's an awful mirror, murderer, manipulist.
I love him.
But he was definitely just... Because, I mean, imagine the crap he has to deal with his crew, want to do normal bullshit things.
Exploring and saving...
Guys, I just want to kill Giorgio. Why is there a space whale on my ship? Shoot her in the face. Come on.
And that Kelpian looks really delicious. Good God.
Because he could just slice him bit by bit. Wouldn't even notice. You know, wouldn't even notice. So, yeah, they played that about right. But it would have been fun to see him a bit more pissy. Just like... But they, basically did. And then Gormagander beaming.
Oh, we got to make a point of the delta, not only on the phaser but also on the holster, because there have to be deltas everywhere, don't you know? All on the side of the uniform, on the belt buckle, on the boots.
It's what's the thing where it's overcompensating for the lack of Trek in the content. We're putting Trek everywhere.
Look at our Delta that shouldn't be assigned to Discovery in this era, but it's slightly different because it's got a line down it.
And even if you wanted a logo, make it a print logo. Don't make it a physical thing. Just make it a little property of Starfleet. And obviously it's the Discovery Delta, which in itself... Can you imagine, in 6 years' time, when the Enterprise uses their one, and the fleet gets changed, every single item of every single clothing, every single holster, every single communicator, all has to be re-lasered with a different Delta, because that Delta's only used for a couple more years. That's true, though. Every Delta fleet-wide, all these kit is like, oh, that's before the refit Delta throwaway. Just don't do it. It's dumb.
Well,
think about it next season, guys. Think about it. Well, we've already filmed it, so we can't change it now. But think about it, hopefully. So anyway, Black Alert, and pretty quickly, Mudd's already worked out what it is, but not how it is. I like that we don't see it linear. Like in Groundhog Day, you get the first couple of linear jumps, but we do skip time to allow the pace to keep jumping narratively, I guess, where it needs to go, which I think works really well.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great scene. I'm trying to figure out what exactly in the spore chamber those things are for. He's got the rest of it figured out. Just plugging in the spores. I got the force field set up, and Where is it that he says? Because I have it written down here where he did make a point to say that there's so many ways to blow this ship up. It's actually kind of a design flaw,
Yeah,
which I thought was hilarious. But it wasn't here because this is where Stamets shoots him, and then the explosion blows Stamets away.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's the problem with writing these down, because with these pictures it doesn't quite always line up.
Yeah, that was actually like 6 or 7 scenes later, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, gotcha.
Hold up. Yeah. See, I haven't got that many notes for this because it's just a good episode.
I know. Here,
it really is.
Here we find out that the tardigrade is multi-dimensional. Therefore, so is Stamets. So he's outside the time continuum. He mentions that. And I got to admit, the Discovery uniforms, when they're unzipped a little bit or zipped all the way down, they look great. They look like a jacket. They look good. But when they're zipped up with that asymmetrical collar, it just looks stupid. But I do like them unzipped a little bit, I got to say.
Does go to its benefit for sure. So we get another reset, and then we get Stamets starting to make a plan. You can be able to trust me.
And interestingly enough, I got to point this out. Yes. Sorry for cutting you off. He checks his communicator and says, "Oh, it's almost time." So obviously the communicators have they're right in the middle of the dial. They got a clock, like a cell phone. Yeah. They didn't have that in TOS, but that's cool that they're multi.
Well, that we know.
They're useful. Well, yeah, exactly. Sure, I'll buy that.
3 beeps for you have to flashes for every hour. This is a little thing.
And this is where she tells her to tell him something so that next time she'll know. Why does she whisper it to him when there's nobody in the corridor?
No, I get that. She feels vulnerable. I get it. It's
a pure been in love.
It's a pure character thing. I was fine with that. I know that some people said that they at this point they lost it a bit because this then became the Burnham show as well, when it didn't need to be a Burnham episode because she has all the other episodes. As she's not meant to be, it's meant to be an ensemble cast. It really isn't. It really, really isn't. This would have been a great Saru co-episode. That would have made a bit more sense. How do you trust him and then use his skills? Because Burnham, what does Burnham have? The only thing she has specifically that is useful is her interest in Vok. But beyond that, she can't help the mud situation. She's not a technical person really. She's not a tactical person really. You know what I mean? She herself has nothing. Why isn't he going to the captain? You know what I mean? Over Burnham. Now you're breaking it down. It's like, why Burnham? Because she's character. Because she's the hero. She has the biggest paycheck besides captain because he's a better known actor. Sort of. It just I can buy that. It should have been stamped something else. But anyway, then captain gets called away, and we see the mud character get progressively more annoyed about having to reset. It's like, I'm not going to tell you it again. Just got a secret chamber. Let's go to the secret chamber. Mwahaha.
It's like after we film something and then the audio didn't work, so we have to film it again. It's like, oh, just get this done. Not that that's ever happened here on Trekyards. But anyway, he wants access to the secret room, Lorca's man cave, as Mud calls it. So interesting that we see some of more of these weapons.
Yeah.
What's this
and
one
we know
do?
that this one does really mean things. And also we know that later on that there's little purple things, there's a strange weapon also in here.
Weaponized dark matter.
Yes. I mean, things that a Starfleet captain wouldn't have at any point. None of them. Not a single character would have the most... Because they said out of the 823 ways to die, this is the worst. That's a pretty big thing to say. So obviously, yes, this is another hint to Mirror Guy. He happens to have the most horrible... And that's worse than a Veriton T Disruptor. That would have been a nice reference to a Varian T. That would have been... If that had been a Varian T, that would have been a beautiful reference, actually. Why make it a space revolver? That would have been a beautiful reference. Yeah. Would have been a very old gun then, I suppose. Would have been a 250-year-old gun, but still. But yeah, it's another link to him being an absolute B-word, because he has all the biggest, bestest, meanest guns in the universe. And a P90, I think, we saw in a previous episode.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's in the previous still. Wow, I got a P90. Wow.
Oh, nice.
I think is that Star Wars blaster?
It kind of looks like a Stormtrooper blaster, yeah.
Underneath it, yeah. I'm pretty sure the Star Wars, at least based on one, because it's got all the same pieces in the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Most deadly sort of Star Wars and Stargate. Makes sense.
And then we get a scene of Lorca dying many times, and this is where we find out he's killed him 53 times already, so he's done at least 53 jumps. Probably a few more because he didn't get to Lorca on the first couple. Yeah. So it's worth... I mean, that would get really boring. That's like playing the same level of a video game and not being able to have a save point. You have to start over from the beginning of the level. It gets frustrating.
I mean, he is iterating on it every time, though. To the point where now he's doing wave beaming, which is a really big thing to be able to do.
And that was a great scene, by the way, where Lorca materialized out in space and is like... Oh, that's just awesome. So what is Mirror Universe Lorca thinking at this point? It's like, all this work for nothing.
Yeah. And the guy I left in jail a bit ago sends me out there. Yeah, it's a bit anticlimactic, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that whole scene not only is a good scene, is a clever scene, but it's filmed so well. Yeah. Technically speaking, they hide the edits very, very well, considering. Yeah, it's just a great scene, and I love he's eating a bun, a really cheap-looking butty bun. It's not an apple, thank God. That would have been a cliche. It's a really crap-looking bun.
Yeah.
And he kills Lorca with the gun. It's very unimpressive. It's just like everything else, just disintegrating.
Yep. Cool effect, though.
It is, but this is one thing I thought. It's like, okay, you're killing somebody in itself is the worst thing. Them dying for 1 second longer in pain, they're going to be dead in 1 second. You know, it doesn't really mean anything to die in more agony if you're going to die in those 3 seconds anyway. So it's just another tool of death. It's just, you know what I mean? Like if it was really slow and then you could cut your arm off before it got to you, so you know, okay, it's just another way of killing someone dramatically, rather than whatever. Right. Now it's definitely the Burnham show at this point.
Well, yeah, because now he jumps in and says, "You've never been in love." Why would you say that? Because love isn't logical.
I'll ask Sarek that.
Yeah, he dances with her, you know, so she can dance with Burnham or Tyler in the next jump. Finds out
Tyler might know the knowledge because Mudd might have been braggy enough to tell Tyler stuff, and this brings up the question of how long was fake Tyler in a fake prison cell? Because how long we have to be in a cell with Vok or with Mudd to be told secrets?
Yeah.
And also they say he's out in rotation, so he's, you know what I mean? And he looked so unhurt. So weeks, months, would L'Rell put Vok in 3 months of random non-torture for the sake of it until one day we find Lorca? Doesn't really...
No, I feel you.
Small thing, really small thing.
There's some interesting character development here, though. History. Find out how Stamets and Hugh met. Hugh was humming Castilian opera and was told to quit it and sat down right beside him. And we get this is a quote that I do like. Never hide who you really are. That's how relationships work. Like, it's actually very true. So, words of wisdom from Stamets.
Yeah,
Joseph,
normally these...
Go say Joseph put in €2. Have you seen the Meg? Mudd Gets Eaten. Spoiler. And he wants number 8. I haven't seen the Meg yet, no, but...
Neither have I.
And number 8, I will play that.
Yeah, normally exposition Discovery is a little bit heavy-handed, but having it during a dance scene was really nice. Although, since the dancing doesn't carry over, I guess he was learning how good she is at dancing to know how to teach her. But then, we know the time jump is only about a minute before Vok says hi, so he has a minute to get from where he was to her, teach her how to dance, explain the situation, before he then... The timings don't quite make sense with this. It's implying that she's going to remember, but she doesn't. This scene should have been something else. Doesn't actually work logically.
Yeah, this is one of those plot holes I was talking about where the timing doesn't work for her to be able to... Plus, the other song ends, the slower song starts, they start dancing, which, if it was on the same timeline, they would have been already called to the bridge before the other song stopped.
Yep.
So, a lot of things here just don't make sense and are just here to move the story along.
Yeah, we get plotted here rather than consistency here.
Yeah, so this is one of the issues that I have with this part of the story. So,
well, it's just a weird thing to like. It would have made sense if she had stopped him from going to the bridge first, then asked to dance, because then anything that happens after that moment is we don't know yet.
Exactly, yeah.
And there's a few seconds of time, but even Stamets to get to this room is, you know, pushing it a little bit. I guess he could have beamed there, but then everyone could be anywhere. Yeah, small thing. Then we get talking to Tyler Vock. There's a little bit of chemistry between them, but it's still awkward. I do like generally why does he think I'll tell you because I like you and he thinks you like me. Awkward as hell, but it's a lovely little awkward moment. It's so genuine.
And in that case, this won't matter. And he kisses her.
Yep. I actually wrote good acting by Burnham there. She doesn't do too much of it throughout the season. It's actually good. This is actually very well leveled. She's very good in this episode because she has to emote with people for story. It's all character stuff pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's good. And then they.
Next note I have is we hear about a non-equilibrial matter state or a time crystal that they learned about at the Vulcan Science Academy, even though
don't believe.
Even though 80 years earlier, Vulcans didn't believe time travel existed.
They did prove time travel does exist. I mean, T'Pol could take them. Yeah,
I know.
I mean, just call it time crystals. Really, sounds very Star Warsy.
Yeah, and how a race of four-dimensional beings had perfected it, and he must have stolen it or acquired it somehow.
From fourth-dimensional beings that know about time. It's like, oh, I stole a device for the prophets. It's the wormhole. I'm just that good. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, it's it's a cool sounding plot, but that in itself could be an episode, or 2-part, 3-part. That could be an entire season arc. Finding the time crystal to go back in time to do a heist of a thing. That's an entire season worth of content. And it's like, oh, we just went straight over it.
It's a MacGuffin.
Yeah. And just don't call it time crystal. Like, call it Mobius crystal or something. It sounds so lazy. What is it? It's the time crystal! What's
quantum crystal. Because quantum.
Or tachyon crystal. Yeah. It's slightly more intelligent. Time crystal! Or they say it in the Vulcan way. Teplaktava, translated to time crystal. Then it's imperfect in our language, good in their language. That would have been smarter.
Yeah.
Small things, hindsight. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, he gets back on the bridge, waves Lorca into the brig.
Balls in this man.
Doesn't kill Lorca this time. Waves him to the brig. Gets sick of killing him, and then we see the nice little weaponized dark matter, which is a cool concept. It really is, and just you can throw it at somebody, and they turn into dust. Now I was looking for the special effects here when he was dying to see if there's any hint of a Klingon during the dissolve. Couldn't see anything.
I've got a dark matter.
That's a Tide Pod. Don't eat it. That's really.
It's the same. It's the same.
Yes.
So did you see a Vok?
I didn't at all.
I did. So there we go.
We got some stills of it. You can see some white skin, but I just assumed that was part of the.
No, it's super subtle, but no, I went frame by frame, and I did see as it goes. He leaves. No, it's meant to be skeleton, but it's a little bit to the color of Vok's skin. That goes with the purple hue of the gun. That's fine,
yeah.
But I mean, this is their time to put a super subtle hint in there, and it's only a few frames. But for me, I was like, I mean, you're reaching, but if there's a white skin underneath a human skin, it's like, yeah, I think I saw it.
Or did you just see what you wanted to see?
Exactly. Because we were looking for that first time around. We knew it was him the first time.
Yeah. And this scene makes me laugh, where he says, "Random communications officer man,"
yep.
Because that's how I feel about everybody on this bridge, no matter who they are. It's random helmless person. Well,
no, I thought that.
Yeah.
No, I thought that. Why didn't they give lines to the other crew members? Like, this is a bottle show. Why don't you let the bridge crew, the ensemble cast, say one line? I mean, seriously. Add 7 more minutes to the runtime. You've got the fucking budget. You've got the biggest budget of any Star Trek, and you can't give any of the side characters anything to say. It's really weird. It's the worst budget show of any Trek, easily.
Yeah.
And did that guy not look like the guy from Calypso, the random officer?
Let's see. A little bit.
I was like, is that the guy? Yeah. Maybe it's a descendant or something, or his prequel character. Because it's like, that's a pretty hefty guy to focus on as well. I don't know, whatever.
Well, then the next scene, there's another time loop again, and we got Tilly down in the shuttle bay with a
Well, no, this is the
tricorder.
same loop. This is the final loop.
Is it the same one?
Yep, because Tyler's dead, and this is the last. This is the one they have to say.
Well, how'd she get off the bridge? How did Mud let her off the bridge?
What do you mean? Well, Mud just disappeared to work with Stamps and Engineering. He doesn't care about anyone else. All the primary systems are locked.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing. That's why she calls Tilly, who's been partying and doesn't know anything. Then we get some both good and bad green screen at the same time with Tilly. It's both great and not great. It's weird. But that's okay. Can they detect with a little scanner the thing that their senses couldn't detect?
Which is the ship hidden inside. That's why the Gormagander was acting so sick.
But not that sick. Just a little bit sick.
Yeah. Anyway, then he's got access to the spore drive now because Stamets told him that he needs him. So now he's going to sell the Discovery to the Klingons. And Burnham's like, I have something they want more because I'm me.
Yeah.
And tells him about, I'm Michael Burnham. The computer verifies it.
Yeah.
And Mud's like, God damn it, I gotta do it again. I love the frustration at the end there. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, this is a perfect run for him.
Yeah.
He did a good job. But it's interesting how this scene plays out. She bleeps to get into the captain's quarters. Everyone's so chill. It's like, is not everyone scrambling to do stuff? I get he's got control of all the main systems, but this is where you get the sense that he has the computer so on lockdown that he can just do anything to do anything to do anything. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Mm-hmm. But wouldn't the entire crew... You put any other crew in the situation and you get a sense that they're all scrambling to hell to reroute. Spock could be rerouting consoles and Kim would be forcing a thing, or they'd be shutting off main power so he's locked into the systems. Or you'd beam... you'd turn off... if I was... Well, to be fair, if I was them... Although obviously you want Vok to be dead. Easy way of solving this issue is you turn off the shuttle bay force field, or you destroy the force field emitters, which force the Gormagander into space, which means it can't blow up, and you turn off main power for the ship, which means it can't self-destruct. And as soon as the Gormagander gets far enough away, it can't do time warpy thing.
Yeah. There's always something to do in one of these episodes. Like, Scotty would be down in the Jeffries tube doing something.
Because wouldn't this be a nice time to cut to the bridge crew huddling around, and you get to have all of them say things, because we care about the bridge crew saying, what should we do? This, and then Burnham's like, there's only one thing we can do, and then she walks in calmly.
Or see the bridge vacant because everybody's in the brig. All the bridge crew are in the brig, and access to the bridge is sealed off, but somehow she's...
And the brig's big enough for 124 people. It really is. That would have been really nice. Like, it's a great scene, but it doesn't contextually work with a professional crew. He can only do so much to stop them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And their most proper crew, especially their own ship, theoretically, it's all these things. So it's a bit weird. And also, he doesn't have his gun still. Like, it's on the table. Like, she could just reach for the gun and shoot him. He hasn't got a force field around him because he touches everything. There's no sense of plan right now beyond they've all given up.
Yeah. And then she eats a Tide Pod, and you see the dangers of eating Tide Pods.
Damn dangers.
And that pisses him off. He's like, I gotta do this one more time. And I love right before that, they said that the Klingon ship was incoming, and he makes a pointy-headed bastards comment. I hate those pointy-headed bastards. Which we got a good laugh out of the first time around because, coneheads.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, did you not think this thing is the worst way to die in space? The worst. And why is she taking it like an absolute boss?
Because she's Michael Burnham.
That's not a reason.
She's Michael Burnham, scientific officer at law. No.
She should have been screaming. That should have been an absolute horrific moment. And it's just like, bye. It's like, even the Veriton T, everyone screamed and died. You know what I mean? It's like you set up the worst way to die in space. The worst.
Mm-hmm.
No, not for her. It's like, that's not, yeah. Little things mount up though. Now I'm rewatching it.
I miss my old chair. My chair is squeaky for some reason. I gotta fix my chair. Sorry.
It's just weird. A few of these scenes play a little bit weird, but you can tell they're running out of production time, so they're just trying to quicken up the story. I think there's probably a few scenes they skipped.
Yeah. I do like the final run of Mud though, where he's kind of like boring. And I've done this so many times now, and it's like doing a video game.
Mm-hmm.
But this time you didn't get all the little secret things that you got every other time because you just want to get to the end of it. So, and you need them to finish the level. I thought that was cool the way they did that. So, I love how they tamper with the captain's chair, and then later say, "Yeah, that's another non-critical system." Captain's chair is a non-critical system.
Well, I don't have a problem with that, though. I mean, what he has access to is critical, but the chair itself is not.
But it's...
If you unplug the chair, everything would still work. If you...
I know, but you have access to a lot of stuff from the captain's chair. That's the point.
But
of
it'll be
captain's
denied. That's the point. All the systems will be blocked. The chair itself is just a computer interface. There's nothing special about it except it's direct computer interface to everything else.
Hey, my chair's important, even though it squeaks. It is a critical system. Without it, I couldn't sit here and talk to you people. Right? Well, here we find out about... Yeah, just wrapping this up. Find out about Baron Grimes. A lot of research done because the library computers are non-critical systems also.
Just like turbolifts, just like... if you're really that smart, you just turn everything off. Actually, if you're that smart, you just Star Trek 6 it. Ultra gravity off, and you're the one with boots. Instantly, you've given yourself a massive advantage.
Yeah. Well, here we find out Stella is not his beloved. He's not looking for Stella. He's running from Stella. And Lorca hands over the ship. He doesn't want the Baran incident to be repeated. He wants to make sure that his crew is safe. We'll hand over Burnham and the ship to the Klingons. We'll allow you to do that.
Yeah, it's a well played scene. Although I feel like the knowing who we know Lorca is, he should be biting his tongue more.
Yeah, and this ties in with the other plot holes that I see. The fact that they explained all this to them in this amount of time, and everybody's so on board with the plan and believes them right away. Like, I don't know about you, but if one of my junior officers or whatever came storming onto the bridge and it's like, this time thing's happening, we got to do this, this, and this, I'd be like, well, I need a little bit more explanation than that. Sorry, we don't have the time. Ha, pardon the pun. But, I don't know, it just, convenience, for convenience sake.
But you could argue that because now they have smarts, they can now use the ship's sensors to detect the inside the Gormagander and see the ship and the time device and explain the plot. And then, like, there's... Whatever. Yeah. It's the amount of time things take is squished from the second half of the episode onwards. It's all skewed towards, just get move on. It's fine. And I kind of buy how they're all acting, which is good. But the fact that, again, Mud shakes his hand, the first thing you assume is Lorca would take the hand, take the gun, punch him, shoot him.
At least try something, yeah.
He hasn't got anything... I mean, if he dies, this might still reset, but they've got time to do all the other things. This is right at the start of the loop, because he skipped a few things. It's weird how he doesn't have a sense of self-preservation. Like, he has all these plans except where he doesn't have any plans. Which is summarised by the next scene. He lets the thing go off, cool, good moment, whatever. And then he walks him up, and then Tyler just gets a drop on him. It's like, what about the force field? What about the side-to-side beaming he used? Why couldn't they do anything of the clever things? Why is he now dumb? It's like he now knows the ship inside now, all systems, he's now full control of the systems. He should just say, oh, beam, zzz. That's another plot hole, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
How did you defeat a guy that has all-knowing power?
Because he had motion-activated transporters.
Yep. Yeah. He should have been able to wave away them. Should have been able to wave them away, shouldn't he? Before they shoot him. Yeah. Because plot needs to stop.
Right. Yes. Anywho, transporter room. People beam on. There's Stella and her father, the Baron Grimes. I gotta say, the actress they picked for Stella is way too attractive for Stella. If you've seen Stella in What Little Girls Are Made Of, the original no. I can't remember the name of the episode now, but the android of Stella is not this woman.
I'm not sure she's too young for him. I mean, age doesn't really matter, but it's weird they cast such a younger person. Like, he looks in his sort of 45, 50, 60s, depending on the Trek age gap, because now, you know, you can look 70 and only be 40, you can look 40 and only be in 70s, for, you know, so then she could also be older and have plastic surgery, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just weird casting, having such an age difference, and then she's like this young-ish woman kissing a man with a big white beard. It's like, okay.
When you're the man with the big white beard, that's all you want. Trust me. When you get older, you'll understand.
Oh yeah, give still a drug problem in 10 years and it works. Yeah.
Well, sure. Anyway, it was convenient too that the Baron was so close to Discovery to get there when he did.
Within 30 minutes travel.
Yep.
Less
and
than 30 minutes.
there's also a Klingon ship within 30 minutes of travel as well.
Yeah. Well, he thinks there is within 30 minutes travel.
Well, it showed up in the last time loop. It was just arriving. That's why he said those pointy-haired
True,
bastards.
but we don't know if he can actually extend the time loop beyond 30 minutes, and that was just a really good loop.
Could be.
Because we assume 30 because that's like, I don't know, like, you know, yeah, but
iMud, that's the name of the episode. Thank you, Darren.
Star Wars logic is like everything is so close that it's so close. Yeah, it's ridiculous to think that it would be right there. It's like there's a big galaxy, and it takes them time to get across it. What if he was trading in the Beta Quadrant? And he was like 3.5 weeks away.
Yeah. Convenience.
Whatever. Yes, lack of thought. I bet they didn't know how they were going to end it properly. Well, they put themselves, ironically, into a corner, into a looping corner. It's like, well, shit, we've got to do this, this, and this. Trek fans aren't smart enough to see through it.
Right. Just look at Cause and Effect. That was so well written, and the way that was solved seems more realistic than this one by leaps and bounds. But this one is very entertaining, and I really did enjoy this one.
And just seeing Pips on his collar is in itself a bit ridiculous, but it's Data with trillions of, you know, he put the clue in, which means his brain could think of the clue.
Yeah.
So it's circling in a circle, you know.
And ugly ass ship.
What, Saratoga?
No.
Oh.
This luxury liner cruise ship that we've talked about before.
Okay. Just a ship. It's an orbital ship. I mean, it's not. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And it's bloody huge, because the Discovery is bloody huge. And this is like 28, 30, 40 decks?
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then, of course, they have their moment at the end where Stamets told them both that they like each other and they danced and they enjoyed each other's company and blah, blah, blah. So now they all have that in their minds that, you know, they can get closer. And that is the end of magic to make the sanest man go mad.
And are you mad after watching this episode?
Nope. I'm mad reviewing it because it's hard to follow on a re-review when you're doing the pictures because it just doesn't flow with my notes for some reason, which... Anyway.
Well, some scenes have lots of narrative, but whatever. I mean, it's all chronological. Yeah, I only had a page and one note. And it ends at Burnham should die in more agony.
Oh, that's
mean.
mean.
Burnham didn't die in screaming agony.
All right, well, excellent. Let's find a good picture to rest on. So what, guys, what did you think of the episode? Put it in the comments. He's going to, I think, check our past review.
Yes, but I'll go back and see what our final thoughts were before I listen to Stuart's final thoughts. Yeah, Discovery Review, episode 7. Not 76, not 10, 7. That's predictions. Oh god. Go back and watch predictions video.
That would be a blast.
Yeah. Lots of blasts. Okay, 2018 and then 2018 too. I just started called 2017 because, yeah. So talk to the audience for a little bit. I want to listen to
Fine.
The last year reaction, and then I can compare it to your modern day reaction.
Like I said, this was one of my favorite episodes of Trek.
Well, no. Do your summary after I listen to your other summary, so I can't listen to it at the same time. Sorry.
So what am I doing? Talking to the chat? Oh.
Talk to the audience, get some super chats, answer the super chat questions while I.
People are wondering why Michael is named Michael, and Michael was supposed to be transgender. Apparently, if somebody says a personality transplant. Somebody says I love time loops and Fruit Loops. I agree. Fruit Loops are fantastic. My favorite cereal by far. All Star Trek TV series have the TOS transporter pads. TNG and Voyager used original TOS pads, but they were on the ceiling. This is how we know Star Trek Discovery is fake. Dun dun dun! Conspiracy theories abound. Trekyards asked for super chat money in 3, 2, 1. Best episode of Discovery so far. I would agree with that. I'll get into that when I talk about my overall. He's got to listen and ignore us for now. So, love, cause, and effect. Yes, that was one of my top TNG episodes for sure. Joseph puts in €2. Strongest episode to date, followed by the weakest. Ooh, what's next? I don't even remember what's next. But we're doing it tomorrow, same time, 5 Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget, guys, you can request the super chats you can request the animations if you do a super chat. Sorry. So if you do, like Joseph, you can put down an animation you want to see, and we will play that for you. The transporter looks like tubes that come down from the sky. Well, yeah, that's like the motion picture, though. The motion picture had the same kind of tube. The story never stopped moving. Great cadence. Yeah, pacing was good. This is a really good plot, but the plot holes are more obvious second time around. Absolutely they are. The next episode is Pavo, where Sario gets crazy. Oh, no.
Also, do mention the new sites we have for the shirts and mugs and things.
Oh, yeah. Guys, Christmas is coming up, and if you're a Trekyards fan or know a Trekyards fan, you should check out our Teespring store. The link is in the description of this video and all of our videos. You can get mugs, you can get shirts. I'm working on a few other things to put on there. They'll be up soon. And we also have our Everpress limited edition shirt run of these, the Trekyards pinup shirt. This has been a popular one. So it ends December 5th, I believe the campaign ends. And if you order before the end of the campaign, you're guaranteed Christmas delivery. So if you're a Trek fan, a Trekyards fan, and you're watching this and you want to get a shirt, tell your significant other, tell your kids, tell somebody to order you some Trekyards gear. So let's see. Joseph says he wants animation number 11. I'll listen to Google how they pronounce. No, I'll butcher the name if I want. Pavo. They'll mention it in the episode, and I'll make note of it. But there's the animation for you, the Orville and TOS Enterprise. My Star Trek Christmas card. It's very Christmassy. Let's just do that. Go back here and pick another. Still from the show to end on. That's a good one. The fourth dimensional thing is stupid. We exist in 4 dimensions through physical plus time. Yes. Do you have 5X shirts? I do not. The Teespring goes up to 3X, and the Everpress only goes to 2X, but can't find any companies that do that size, so not yet anyway. If you know of any, let me know. My mug is ordered, Captain. We'll post obligatory swap. I saw a few mugs were ordered, so thank you guys. The only thing that sucks is that Ronald Moore's Klingon Empire, he created and opened the Klingon society to what we now know. Discovery has to live up to that legacy, which isn't easy. True. I'm really looking forward to the Orville starting soon, as am I. Looking forward to New Orville. Joseph puts another €2. Say it out loud. Si vis pacima parabellum. Si vis pacima parabellum. Sure.
Okay. Stuart, what are your closing thoughts this episode?
Okay.
In 2018.
This is one of my favorite Trek episodes because it's really fun, it's entertaining, it's engaging, it's got mud in it, so it ties in with TOS, which is kind of cool. It's cool seeing Lorca die all these times. It's got great pacing, interesting idea, lots of plot holes though, but you can overlook those because it isn't an engaging story. But they are right. The more you watch it, the more the plot holes become very.
What about the writing quality for you? What do you say is writing quality?
I like how you have a checklist.
I do have a checklist. I've learned.
I'd say the writing quality was shit because of all the plot holes. It's very much don't give it away by your face.
Just write notes.
It could have been better written, better thought out. I mean, they had an idea, but they didn't know how to finish it up, wrap it up, and get it done, which kind of shows. Felt like it was rushed.
It could have had those 10 minutes that Netflix allows.
Yeah.
It's a bottle show. Wouldn't have taken one more day. They could have done. Okay, so out of 10.
Before we do that, though, Ian Wanderer puts in £2 and says, "Good stream, good chat. When is the next one?"
Ian.
Thank you. And next one is tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 in the UK, and we're going to be talking about the next episode. So that's tomorrow. But anyway,
okay, so
score out of 10.
Now I will clarify that last year you had a score for character episode, and a score for writing, and an overall, which
oh my
was
good God.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can skip that. I'm just saying, what would be overall, and I'll break it down.
Overall for this one,
Yes.
for Discovery episode or Star Trek episode?
For this episode.
We
didn't clarify that last time. You never compared to the whole Trek series.
Gotcha. I'm going to say 8.
Okay. So last year you gave the character development side 9.5 out of 10.
I'd buy that. You see a lot of Burnham and Tyler interaction, and Hugh and Stamets. You know, history.
And Lorca even a little bit of.
Yeah.
Writing gave 7 out of 10.
I'd give it less.
So we averaged you out to 8 1/3 out of 10. So you do 8. So you're down by a third.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there we go. Cool. That's nice and consistent. I said last time I didn't bother listen to all my thoughts, but I said plot was weaker, good characters, good filming. I gave it a 9 this year. I said a 9 or an 8.5 if you include the plot holes. So pretty much the exact same this year, which is cool. That's nice. We haven't changed. Last year, though, you did say plot holes bothered you, lazy writing, not shit writing, so lazy last year. Acting was amazing, real Star Trek, enjoyed almost, and great character development.
Well, it had a very fun Star Trek episode feel, because there's always those fun episodes, which nothing's really at stake.
I think
this is one of them. So.
I think this one will be still the best of the season. I think when all's said and done, even if our scores, I don't remember being a 9 at the point of the season.
Yeah.
So Modern Discovery made one good episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you guys give it out of a 10? Put it in the chat.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. And we were up to like 89 people at one point that I saw. Maybe got a little bit higher, but that's good. So thank you guys for watching.
Out of 10.
Yeah.
Put them down below. And if you want to give it a score for Discovery, then score for Trek overall, because like Stuart said, this does hold up well for a Star Trek episode as well as a Discovery episode. It obviously loses points in the grand Star Trek scale, but it's still pretty high.
Yeah, this is one that, going through a list of titles, I would rewatch because I knew I'd enjoy it a second time or a third time.
Although watching it the second time, you watched them too the first time. I didn't see anything new. I saw everything first time, so I don't like rewatching things that are one-dimensional as much because I like seeing new things. So for me, it was flatter this time, but I still enjoyed it exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
actually, Aaron enough. What? Okay. Anyway, he said it was over 100 for a little bit, and I agree. The first bit of this episode was fantastic, but then when they started to, the plot holes started to show up just to move things along. That's where it starts to fall apart a little bit.
He means 100 people on the stream.
Oh, but I'm changing that now. You meant it was 100% perfect for the first little bit.
There's yeah. It's the Everyone's saying 8. I mean, yeah.
Adam 8. Bonus points for outgoing Tilly at the party. Bonus points for Tilly with her hairstyle at the party. That curly red hair. Oh. Anyway, Jack Tarbuck puts in £5. Hey guys, just dropping in quickly to donate. Thank you. Back to my pies now. Live long and prosper. Well,
what sort of pies?
Yeah. Let us know, because I love pies, except unless it's blood pie. It's,
what about, would you eat a gach pie if the gach was prepared just... Okay.
No, I really wouldn't. I won't eat haggis either. Just...
Never had haggis.
And you're probably better off for that.
I think I've lived a better life.
Anyway.
I don't know. You said it, I didn't, sort of. Subtext.
Yeah, they're getting 7.5, 8s. A lot of people are agreeing, so... Discovery 9, Star Trek 7.5. Yeah, it's high for a Discovery episode, absolutely. Read my comment. What did you say? I'm Scottish and haggis is terrible. Good. I'm part Scottish, so... Why can't I find your... Guy, I have a question. How many times do you think we're going to see the Enterprise on Discovery? Overall? Or just next season? Or... Because I know it looks like it's getting repaired at one point with work bees going to the nacelles. So I think Discovery leaves it behind, does their Spock search thing, and comes back. I hope it's not a constant thing, because a lot of people have said, you know what, it's Discovery. It shouldn't be turned into the Enterprise show. It shouldn't turn into the Captain Pike series, which I kind of agree with. But I don't know. I don't expect to see it often after this season. It's like, there it was, there it is, bye.
Like we said, they can't win with the Enterprise.
No.
If you show any of the interior, which they do, you can't win. It's going to be bad, whatever you do, in terms of continuity, in terms of thinking about it. Yeah.
Michael Burnham makes the best haggis in the galaxy. Well, that's probably very true. Episodic versus serial. It's interesting. Yes, this had a more episodic vibe to it, which again made me feel to me more Star Trek. So yeah. And Car, I need to talk to you about the thing. Maybe tomorrow afternoon you can contact me. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that because it's a single episode, it has to be tightly written. It has to be written tighter because it has to be this amount of time. Whereas if you leave plot threads open, because the thing is, if a plot thread for a long story arc doesn't hit home, that's a damaged plot thread. It doesn't, it hasn't come together. So like the Tyler thing, it falls down a bit because it's so blatant based on how they filmed it, how they put it together. There's no reveal. Lorca's a bit better, but there's still hints. Mirror Universe again, pretty poorly done, ish. And again, we can go back and watch our overthoughts. Say, oh, we called it. How early did we? Because the thing, people can say, oh, I knew they were Mirror early on. It's like, we recorded them the day after I watched it. Or the day of I watched it after you watched it. It's like we have our exact thoughts. Record it for all time. No, we called it.
And our predictions.
Yes, for some of them anyway.
Which, yeah, we need to do prediction videos and stuff again for this season. I know, but we should. Instead of just doing lives, we should still do our regular thing.
If people watch them and earn us the ad revenue, then it's worth doing.
Yeah.
I'll take the time.
What is the reason that lots of TOS ships have a tail fin? What function does it serve in space?
Stuart,
it looks cool. Could be the way to dissipate heat. I don't know. Looks cool. How many rooms do you think we will see inside the Enterprise? Well, we're going to see Spock's quarters for sure. a hallway, a corridor, maybe the transporter room, and maybe the bridge. I can't see many more.
Bridge is a big mistake if they do. They can't. They can't.
I know.
Win.
I know that, but what is Pike's number one named? What is her name?
Majel.
Yeah, I don't think we ever find out her name. She's just number one. I mean, it might be in a book that I just don't know about. Enterprise appearing still feels like a please come back and give us more money next year. Yes, it does. It's a look what we have. We have an Enterprise. We know it exists. Look how smart we are. And then they screwed it up, but I doubt the bridge, but we can hope. Yeah, absolutely. If anything, like Samuel said, it would be like a background out of focus, maybe. Because, yeah, they're screwed either way. Well, they can do it perfectly, but even then, it's not inside the right ship, so it's still...
Yeah. They'll only let fans down, you know?
It's their modus operandi at this point.
Yeah. And they didn't let fans down this episode because it was irrelevant to the big story. It had no Klingons. It was fully Star Trek, but reused concept, and it had an old character which was mostly done well.
Yeah. T. Berg, sci-fi fan, says director's cut of the episode for an extra $5.99. You too can see the bridge.
Yeah.
Car Galaxy Studios. Have you seen Axonar's bridge updates? Looks awesome. Yes. Samuel was actually. Alex Peters said, "Hey Samuel from Trekyards" on the one thing because he was watching live.
I was on my phone downstairs.
Yeah.
Whatever day I was just watching YouTube. I was like, "Oh, what's going on?"
It does look good. I got to admit, it looks very era appropriate. Looks really cool.
Yeah, there's clever ways of doing it.
There's a lot of duplication of screens though that bother me. Like there's too many that are the same. But it's proof we can nitpick anything.
Well, it's not nitpicking if it's a mistake. Which we can also make mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, no one's free and clear.
My favorite Enterprise bridge was in Star Trek, the Star Trek 6 bridge. Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree with you. That's one of my favorites. That and the Star Trek 5 bridge I actually like too. I don't see much of it, but
well, the sixth bridge has the most movie budget feel,
and it also really interesting with editing because if you watch the clocks, which are everywhere, the editing's really well done. There's very few mistakes with the clock.
We can also see the ceiling. You should see the full ceiling. Like they're very good with shots. Yeah, very clever.
Captain Foley and Samuel, have you thought about writing a book on Star Trek reimagined ships, tech, and schematics, or CBS won't? Oh, they probably wouldn't allow it, but it'd be interesting.
I'm doing my bit for Star Trek. I'm making fan films. You know, I'm trying to do new content, new things. I mean, Convergence. That's what I would do in post TNG, and you know, which is from the real life is that real life takes a long time to happen. As a thing, it's a real thing. So I'm currently doing green screen for a convention, finishing off stuff. I've done most of the 145 now. It's a lot. 2 weeks of doing, and then I need to move on to do fan film stuff. I'm doing a bit tonight. I'm finishing off some Roman and War shots. Almost done. Just had to do those final bits. Like I think I was showing you already, but I'll reveal it because if not showing it, it's not too much of a difference. But I designed and have built NX era work bees.
Yes.
I'm actually pretty proud of.
And they look really cool, guys.
Thank you. So I've done a shot where they're necessary for a close-up of a shot, which originally didn't call for them, but they were built for a shot way later. But now I've built them. Add some production value to build one.
I just want to jump in real. Sorry.
Yeah.
The picture on screen right now. Somebody asked where the P90 was. It's right here. You can see it right here, up in the top right there.
Yep. P90, and it's definitely a Star Wars blaster. I mean, you can zoom in a bit more, can't you?
Yeah, I can actually. Let me just do that.
Thanks, Xavier. I can't wait for Convergence either. No, we're trying to get bridge stuff done, or interior sets, because that's a big time suck. So I'm just waiting for updates on that.
There is the P90 right there, and that does look like a Stormtrooper blaster.
I think it's a good reference.
Yeah.
And believe me, I know P90s.
Yes.
Love P90s reference.
Yeah. I'm working on a TV series about fan films, so that's cool. You should interview Samuel.
You should. I've worked on at least 12.
Yeah.
Oops. 2 of which were the same name, Baroness. The Roman War and the Roman Wars. Both versions I've worked on. Oh, what a silly world. I'll tell you something funny, Stuart. You know how I've done some intros again, but the first thing I ever made for you was your name in 3D. The first thing I ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Thing I can't find on any drive ever. So I'm going to ask my modelling friends to make a really high-res poly version of your name with good boolean. So, because that's the only thing I'm missing. And then texture it nicely, add like real 3D plates to it, give a nice, more modern feel to what was literally just a 2-minute thing. But I don't even remember how I made it. Literally at the start of my Lightwave career.
Well, it's in all my intros, so everybody can gaze at it in wonderment. How did Samuel do that? He doesn't even know.
It's Live, man, it's annoying. Now I just want to do more super chat intros. Maybe we do like a super chat voting. Yeah, we'll do some super chat voting. Like whoever the highest amount we get for a certain intro, I'll make.
Could do.
So you vote by your super chat, which should be any number.
That should be
even.
Yeah, that'll be a dedicated stream though. It won't be on this one.
Well, we could do one now and see what people react to, because there's still 74 people. So I'm looking at things of what I'd like to make, and it'd be fun to make a Babylon 5 something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a question of what, because I have quite a lot of options. How about a... also, I think scale, because everything's a different scale. I mean, the obvious one is, an Enterprise next to Babylon 5, and just looking pretty. Yeah, okay, just a fun reveal of an Enterprise next to Babylon 5. I just got a shot in my mind. So who wants to see a Babylon 5 you got a super chat to make me decide to do it, and you can pick the Enterprise. There you go. So, yeah.
Dr. Normal puts in $5. Idea would be great if you guys did a TOS films comparison for each bridge, unless you've already done this and I missed it. Number 18. He wants animation 18. We've talked about the bridges.
Not enough. We've done favorite bridges, top 10 favorites.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So someone just mentioned Orville. Okay, so super chats determine. So super chat to make your voice heard, and the more people inside. Do you either want Orville meeting Babylon 5 or one of the Enterprises meeting Babylon 5? So super chat your voice now, even for $1, and whoever wins at the end will be the decider. So I'll make one either way. So
the decider.
Yes.
This reminds me of American Dad.
So Orville or Enterprise meets Babylon 5. Even $1 can put an Orville Enterprise. Come on, guys. Help support the channel, and I just gave you the power to choose.
You've got the touch. You've got the power. Sorry.
That is exactly what happens. Yes. We'll see if anyone actually cares or not about Babylon 5. Because if no one cares about Babylon 5, it's not a good reward, is it? But I will say, I did actually find out the scale of the Orville, so I've now scaled my Orville to that scale, so it would be an accurate scale shot of Orville and Enterprise. And like I say, if you super chat the name of the Enterprise, which Enterprise you want, I'll also put that into consideration. Because if you want to, donate $10 to the support channel and say you want the Enterprise, you want the NX-01, I guess I'll have to do that, because Shadow versus Narada wasn't a pick, Guard Galaxy. It wasn't a pick. We have very specific options here. Because I don't even I haven't got a Narada. I have got a Shadow, but also the scale's a problem.
My favorite Dirk Diggler song. Yes, Dirk Diggler sang it, but it's not his song. It's from the
Okay,
Transformers
but Carl,
soundtrack.
let me know actually which one you want. Orville or Enterprise. You now you've super chatted in, but put in a non-super chat Orville or Enterprise because one of them's got to win at least. Orville would fit into the Andromeda universe. Yes, it probably would. See, I'm a crazy man. I'm saying, I'm not B5. I said yes, Orville or Enterprise. Meeting B5. Come on, Simon. Stop doing none of the things. See, this is like 4, 5, 6 hours work right now. I'm offering to do for fans. I was hoping to get like $30 to support it, but support a couple of hours of work. But no, it's not going to work at this jet.
Probably not.
No. Well, if no one cares, so it's never been done before.
Yeah, I gotta make this better. It's not gonna work.
Enterprise, okay. One for Enterprise. It may destroy firing weapons, otherwise B5 Galaxy. That would be tricky. Gosh, now everyone's doing it. Yay, everyone's now voting. That's good. Okay. Okay, now we have another one for Galaxy. Okay. 2-4.
Orville meets
Galaxy class.
B5 with fighter escort.
Oh, we have so 3 for Star Trek, 2 for Galaxy, and 1 for Orville. Okay, so currently the Galaxy class is winning thoroughly. It'll just be I've just got a idea for a beauty shot. Nothing.
There is a method to my madness, says Gargalaxy.
Is there really? Yeah, because I'm not offering custom animations because they would take like a lot of time to make.
While you guys do this, I'm just gonna stare at Tilly. Got to make it better. Bring up pics of Tilly. I agree. A pic of Tilly really makes it better. Yes, thank you, Adam.
That's actually a nice smile. That's a good frame I managed to capture the first time around.
Yeah, I cropped Burnham out of it too to not ruin it.
Oh dear. Well, okay, so how would you fix this episode then? Stop to actually what we're talking about for a second. Like, is there anything you would do that you know you'd fix to make this episode work better?
I'd have Stamets talk to Tilly, and not just because I love Tilly, but because Tilly is smart. She's energetic. I would trust her more than Burnham with this, to be honest. I would assume that Burnham wouldn't believe me, and would be difficult to work with. Tilly seems very eager to please, and somebody that it would be easy, I think, to incorporate into this story a little bit more. Plus, you get to see more Tilly, so that's how I'd fix it.
Well, Tilly is also smarter than Burnham.
That's kind of the vibe I get, in a way, but...
If she was rushed through training...
Derek, 2 pounds. Burnham's hot. I'm going to disagree with you there. I'm not a fan of her.
I've met her. She's nicer in person than the character ever was.
Yeah.
So, really nice smile. She's a really, just transforms her face sort of woman. Derek, you super chat again, which means you get a second vote for some reason, because I'm nice like that. So, Derek, you going to stack it in your favour for Enterprise Galaxy? Because you can do that. Be annoying to everyone else that wants to see a non. Yeah. I think Galaxy Battle 5's going to win.
I'd also change some plot details to the way he passes on information, so it wouldn't be verbally. That because he has access to the mycelial network, he can kind of influence Burnham's thoughts, maybe. It would alleviate some of the plot holes to make things like when she has deja vu or something from the previous loops, because he's kind of gone into the... I don't know, just going to go into the spore chamber and activate the mycelial network that way. But that'd be kind of interesting and make it more realistic than him just running up to her each time going, "You've never been in love. You got to go dance with so-and-so in the next 2 seconds." And, it just doesn't quite work.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Why didn't... I mean, there's a good, 2-3 minutes between thinking of having any control of the actual ship. So why didn't Stamets go to the spore room and do a jump to Earth? Or
Oh, get away from the
to
Gormagander?
well, yes. To be fair, yes, that would be very easy. But also, would
And
wouldn't if you were surrounded by people? I mean, could Starfleet tell in 30 minutes that something's wrong and send a boarding party and stop? You know,
yeah, I don't know.
so if all they have to do is beam out the Gormagander, that's all you have to do to solve the plot again.
And what were the odds of him getting in a spaceship that, well, he took over an Andorian spaceship at some point. I assume it's an Andorian spaceship. It's an Andorian space suit. But
Yeah.
to get in the Gormagander and then have the Gormagander run across Discovery, all within distance to a Klingon ship that can come get Discovery at some point, and distance to this Baron, which he's running away from, which I guess makes sense. The Baron could be chasing him. But considering he just escaped from Klingon prison ship, which was a D7, which is not a D7. I don't know. There's lots.
Class.
Yeah, there's lots of problems with this.
I feel like you're ruining it for me, Stuart.
I miss Burnham's boy hairstyle from episode 1. Yeah, no.
No. And Chef Cook, these aren't custom animations. It's do you want Orville meeting Babylon 5 or Enterprise meeting Babylon 5? So, not what you suggested because that's too much for $2. That would be like $150 to make that. But I'm offering a cheeky little one. But let us know, Chef Cook. No Star Furies, no. What? I shouldn't be generous, should I? Offer fun things.
We have animations available that you can watch for right now if you do Super Chat. I mean, they should be picking those.
I should.
Why are you making more work for yourself? Because you got these green screens to do, you've got fan films to do, we got Trekyards to film and to edit. Speaking of, is the Saladin done for Saturday? Probably not.
Nope.
See, you got to do that before Saturday.
Yep. And Stuart, we are now out of mission briefings. Our last one was today, which
I noticed you pushed it up like last minute.
Yep, that's the last one we have. We have 0 in the buffer.
Are you serious? Okay.
Yep. That is it.
No, we'll have to work on that.
It will. Next week. Yeah, because I didn't even know if I'd have time to edit the one today. I was like, I had to move things around a little bit.
That surprises me that we don't have any left.
Well, it's been two weeks since we filmed any, and we had the 2 weeks of not just filming any. I mean, every week it goes through. So a couple of fleet yards left, but not that many. But also I'm not going to, only do them until Christmas anyway right now because Discovery will happen. So I have to work out that final set. And Saturdays I have to work out which one's next, apart from Sardin.
If Calkins does tech stuff, what does Foley do? I do absolutely nothing. I tell him what to do.
Stuart is personal relations.
Sure.
And scripting would do scripting.
And social media and research and scripting and talent, because I perform like a monkey in front of a camera.
Very true.
And I do a lot of lives on my own. Well, I want to do more.
I like watching.
I want to do more, but yeah. Captain is the Foley artist. Yes, I take care of all the sound effects here on Trekyards because I'm the Foley artist. Like squeaking chair. See, that's good stuff.
All done in post. The 3 seconds of before it goes live, he adds it in post.
Stuart, exactly. Stuart makes Samuel go. Well, Samuel makes Stuart look good, so it's a good partnership.
Yeah, exactly.
He is an officer, and officers don't work. Tell him what to do. Isn't that the definition of a captain? The definition of captain is to tell the first officer what to do. And the first officer goes to the department heads, talks to each of them, tells them what to do. And then that rolls downhill to their departments. Yes. So basically the commander, the first officer, is the hardest working person on the ship. The captain is just there to make the tough decisions in a crunch. That's essentially how a ship runs.
I mean, there aren't crises most of the time.
Right. So the captain does nothing most of the time except for sip on tea.
I mean, second in command can take most of the decisions most of the time, you'd assume, because they're simple decisions.
Yes. Yes, Captain provides access to a giant archive of dad jokes. This is immensely true.
The unlimited value of such things could not be defined. I think that's invaluable.
Yeah, or
I think the correct way of
underestimated.
saying that.
Hi, Cap and Commander. Are the ships robots of Disney's The Black Hole still scheduled for review in the future? Yes, I want to start doing some droids and stuff on Trekyards, and Maximilian and Vincent and old Bob. They're definitely on the list. But so is R2D2 because I like astromech droids.
Like I says, I still on the list. I mean, nothing's on the list except everything's on.
There's
the
a
list.
there's a mental list that I want to do certain things. Yes, that's the list I'm talking about.
That wouldn't even cross my mind, as I haven't seen that thing. So, no idea.
Well, there's some cool droids in Black Hole. So,
I think I know of it.
Well, the Cygnus, Rob Bonchun wants us to do the Cygnus, which is the main ship, the big ship from the Black Hole. He's sent me a lot of photos of it that he wants us to use, so I gotta go back and find those. That was a while ago. But anyway, we don't need Trekyards. We need Trekyards mission briefings, so we need to find some Trek ships to look at. So,
which someone just mentioned, stow videos about stow ships. Unlimited plethora, as we obviously have a high standard for getting quality images and such. We talked to Z Films about that.
Yeah, we got the people to talk to, Z Films and Thomas Maroney.
Yeah, he doesn't always. The last one they asked, you got pictures from them weren't the highest res, which would seem weird given the fact that they have direct access.
Yeah.
And again, remember, and the time that we did a month, I did scale charts, but they took a long time to make. Too long, really. They're really cool. But it's like normally I just like getting the model so I can do just like boop 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 done. But that takes reverse engineering.
And Mystic Marbles, yes, this is what Tilly's face would look like if she was watching Trekyards. She'd be amazed by my splendor.
Yeah.
Robbie the Robot. Oh my god. Yes, Robbie would have to be on the list too. Samuel, do you like to be called XO or number one?
Neither one, just Sam. Or Sir. I'll take Sir.
Or Commander. I call him Commander a lot.
I wouldn't, yeah, special. It's like that one barely works.
I call you Commander or Samuel. I don't call you Sam. I've never called you Sam.
That's true, actually.
Because I hate being called Stu, so I don't like when people call me Stu. It's Stuart.
It's kind of refreshing, actually. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, cool.
What did your parents call you? Did they call you Samuel?
Oh, that's the thing. It's always been Samuel up until first girlfriend. Then they sort of, at university as well. Girlfriend and university same time, and so you're not. Wasn't intentional to reinvent yourself. When a girl starts calling you Sam, you don't want to correct her.
Because usually you go against the grain. Because I raised my son Thomas to be Thomas, but he goes by Tom or Tommy to his friends, which I hate. I hate Tom and Tommy.
I always called him Thomas.
Yeah, well, you should, because that's his name. But yeah,
well, I was never rebellious in any way. Really, it didn't seem pointed to me. So no, it was always Samuel. That's my name. I was purely asking, what do I want to be called? Like, well, one's my name, one's not. So
yeah,
use the logic there.
Hey Samuel, did you meet?
Yes, what?
Did you meet the actress of Tilly at the con too?
Yes. I met them all. Except Lorca, but I don't think. I did. Very much.
Sam the Sham and the Trekkers.
No. Do you wanna? I keep looking over here because there's stuff I want to show you eventually. But there's a print I got from John Eves.
Yes.
Yeah. So I brought obviously things for him to sign that I wanted signed, and I bought. He wanted to give them to me free, but I was like, no, I'm gonna, buy the prints off you, for your ones. So I got a lovely Shinjo print because that's a lovely ship. But they were giving out a print to celebrate his. At a different stall to celebrate the art book.
Yes.
And it included some concepts of the Shinjo I'd never seen before.
Ooh. Might be worth talking about those. I
said to him, ooh, these are both better than a lot of ships in Discovery. I was like, whoa, these are... Yeah, that's like a ship that's like very familiar.
The first one's the one I like better.
Wow, the focus. Thanks, camera. 4K camera in all its glory. Yeah, I was like, this is really interesting. That's just kind of like the warp delta from Enterprise, just
Yeah.
Discovery fired. But I was like, that's really interesting. So literally, I didn't like big art Shinjo, and I focused on teeny little little other sketches, which I thought were more interesting.
Those are cool. I had never seen those before.
Yeah, neither did I. I don't think they were released publicly until now. So I thought we should maybe talk about it at some point. So I want to either get them from John or make a scan or something. I thought they were cool.
Well, there's a Trekyards mission briefing right there.
I've got his art of Star Trek book downstairs, but I haven't unboxed it yet. And my God, there'll be a lot of art in there to look at, which I'd love to at some point.
Yeah, that's the book I'm probably getting for Christmas, so I can't look at it yet.
Yes. But guys, I think we are running down here. So any last super chats to say hi, bye, thank you. $7.50 and we can leave. There you go. And I'll go back to finalizing 3D animations.
And then I gotta go make supper.
What are you doing for dinner?
Not sure yet. Probably
100% starve.
lasagna.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that, because I don't know. It depends how Sylvia feels when she gets home. Maybe we'll just go get something takeout. Or takeaway, as you say in the UK.
Well, yeah, because you're taking it away.
You're also taking it out of the restaurant. It's takeout. But anyway.
So what would you make up?
We're going to have Fruit Loops for...
That was the Stargate Time Loop episode, so that makes sense.
Tilly. We're going to have Tilly for supper. With a side of
New
Kelpie.
steak. New steak. Oh. We've devolved into cannibal.
We do this sometimes when we're tired. You should hear the things we talk about when we're not on camera.
No, they shouldn't.
Good night, Trekyards. Good night, fellow watchers. See you tomorrow.
Good night,
All right,
Moon.
Joseph.
Good night, stars.
Have Acid Designs make you a tip jar gift that, like Anti-Checker's head in the chip jar. I would. I'd love to talk to Acid Designs about that. He did some fantastic art. So, Alistair,
I'd love to really get when we hit Discovery Season 2 some really cool like LCARs and stuff for lives and really fancy up a bit. That'd be really cool for sure.
Sounds like a squeaky fart. Ah, yeah. At Trekyards, is it just me or did the red parts of the command uniform from First Contact change from crimson to maroon by Nemesis?
Nope. Same uniforms, same colors, same as TNG as well. They just lit differently. Oh,
Commander, what do you charge per hour for animation?
I wouldn't want to charge per hour because then I'd be charging more than I charge normally. I charge based on
The job.
a base rate. Cause they obviously just charge fan rates, so it's more if a single animation takes too long, I lose money. If it's quicker, I think it should be I get money. But I sort of charge a base rate for everything. It's super complicated. So if I was charging per hour, then you charge more than if it was per animation. It's more fair to me, but I'm a fan making things for fans. So, but emails, trekyards@hotmail.com if you want to try and trekyards@hotmail.com if you want to try and commission me per hour.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can commission something.
Brian asks, "Hey Samuel, did you enjoy hanging out on Anti-Tracker's channel?"
I learned so many things.
It's funny because you brought him in, and all of a sudden it went to the serious talk about was it politics or religion, whatever the hell we're talking about.
All of the above.
And I'm sitting there like, because usually it's pretty. He just addresses the comments, and it's pretty good discussion, just off hanging out with people. But I love how when Samuel comes, because he's British, we got to be all like, Anti-Tracker. I think he had to prove a point. I don't know. He's also wondering when our Borg Queen discussion is coming out, because that was a separate video, right?
Well, that'll be some time. We just did a lot of Borg stuff, so
yeah, I know. I just
four Borg in a row, so not until probably after Discovery comes out. Honestly,
yeah,
way after Discovery, many months. Because the Borg, none of them did very well either. You guys didn't watch them that much, showing you haven't got that much interest in Borg stuff. Yeah, none of them did that well, so sad.
Yeah.
Which I thought were great discussions, but oh well. You guys vote with your views, so.
Samuel, can you make a refit Enterprise bigger than the Excelsior class starship?
I mean, there's a little bar that says scale. I can just go. Zzz.
That's what JJ did.
Yes.
That's what JJ did. A Brit, a Canadian, and an American log on into a YouTube channel. Sounds like the start of a joke. That's good.
Things ensue. Come on, guys. $5 and we can leave. $5.
$5.
I lowered it from 7 to 5. And we only get 3 of that. No, we got
Yeah, YouTube takes quite a chunk.
Yeah. But it's all fun. It really makes a big difference. Go over a lot of videos, Stuart.
We
Just
do.
Going back, and we have so many videos. Yeah. Yeah, we should look at some more Star Trek Stowe stuff. Would be good. There's a lot of. I mean, we're releasing new stuff all the time. A lot of stuff I can't necessarily talk about as much. Like, how do you talk about a Tholian design from the 25th century? It's like, I mean, it's a. It's one of the nice things about keeping things very contemporary to the stuff we know is that you can relate things to things. You know?
Mm-hmm. There were 2 men from London, but 2 different Londons.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
Speaking of, when are you coming here, man?
Soon, man. We can get pretty cheap flights there, so.
And it's nice because since we just bought the green screen setup for the event, we sit down, I can actively do a green screen behind us and light it reasonably effectively. Not perfect, but pretty good.
Good enough.
And I can turn
better than average. Yeah. I know your green screen capabilities, so.
Although then, although live keying would be like you couldn't do lives with it unless you live keyed, and they have to work out a clever way of doing that. But you could do a white screen. Clean white screen would look pretty good. Or you have like a printed LCARS, like really thin LCARS beams, and put that around us, so it's like a real life LCARS. But that'd be cool because now we can just be in the front room and film because the microphones are pretty good. And if we each had our own microphone like next to us, so we do proper quality audio, and then record, against a camera, and do it in a different space. We're not locked down to this room, which would be difficult for both of us to fit in because it's very small.
Yes.
It's.
Hey Cap, after London Comic Con, would you do the same booth setup next year or change a few things? Change a few things. I didn't like the way it was set up this year, but that's my mistake. Dun dun dun. When you fly to England, you end up shedding some pounds. That's funny.
Is it because you haven't got the pound system? You got a different system.
Well, because I'd convert my Canadian money to pounds, and then I would give that away to people over there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually.
There we go. Buck. $5.
Thanks, Adam.
Wait, isn't that £5, though?
It is.
Yeah. So
So it's actually £6.80.
But you don't.
And then convert that down. We get 5.
Yeah, but you don't say like $1. You like it's a quid. A quid and a buck are the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same slang.
I get paid. Yeah, but I get paid in dollars, so I don't say quid ever. None of my currency is paid in pounds, so I have literally defaulted. If I talk about money, it's almost always dollars, because I don't get. I have to always think about that in England, because
Anyway, there you go, $5. So let's.
But you'd say a pound. You'd say a pound. You wouldn't say a quid. I mean, a quid is a colloquial, but.
I thought.
Slangy.
Yeah, I always wondered that pound and quid, and then I found out that quid was like a slang term for like dollar or like a pound for like a buck.
Quid is informal, I guess, lower class if you really want to go there. So, Bromley, or if you want to, not that's lower class, but like if you want to be someone who doesn't use the normal English because you don't want to use normal English, say, I want a quid. I want a quid on the lottery. Everyone else says, a pound. It's just a pound. Yeah.
Interesting. A tuppence for your thoughts. All right.
Also a thing, yes.
Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Everyone that super chatted, you guys are amazing. You definitely helped the channel out, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. We look forward to seeing you all next time. Even the people that don't super chat, we love talking to you. Yes, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same station, same channel, same topic.
They
almost. And I'm not even going to attempt saying the name of the episode tomorrow because it's just...
Probably a less good episode, though.
It's the one where they go to Pavo.
Definitely a less good episode. That's like a rubbish one.
Saru crushes the communicator and stuff.
It's a rubbish episode. If there's ever been a we need to go from A to B and we want to also make filler at the same time, it's that episode.
And then forget everything about Pavo and just...
Yep.
But we're going to get into that tomorrow. So...
5.5.
Yes. Bye, guys.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you for joining us.